And it will continue because the environment, the world in which we are continues to change. So this we need to understand. This we need to set as a mirror in front of us so that it continues to challenge us as commanders, as leaders, but also as leaders who have men and women under them to constitute the police force who are supposed to deliver to the Gambian people.
After a visit to the newly constructed Forensic Science Laboratory for the Criminal Records Unit of the police force, the minister and entourage moved to Caraba Police Station, the headquarters for Canifing Division. There, Minister Gomez emphasized the need for appropriate and up-to-date data collection for effective service delivery. The minister's tour also took him to the Koti Police, the Vigila Police Station, Bruceby Police Station, Bundung Police, PIO Canifing Station, and the mobile traffic stationers. At the various stations, Minister Gomez familiarized himself with regional commissioners, officers, commanders, and station officers. He called on the officials to be enterprising in the management of available resources. Available data, he said, should be relied upon for the designation of the right response mechanisms to security challenges. This, he went on, will be crucial in curbing crimes.
Some of the things that are coming out is that we don't have empiric data to prove the type of work that we're doing. Like I've tried to emphasize the need to understand what our area of responsibilities are, all the way to the lowest unit of service within the service, and that being a police post developing to a police station. It will be important to know within a police station, within a police post, what are the crime situation, what are the demographics in terms of crime, what is the statistics, what have been done to sort them out, so that when you have this, you will understand whether you are in control of your AOR or not.
Security, they say, is the enabler of development in this leg of the minister's tour that has been stressed throughout. It is within those parameters that Minister Gomez interacted with officials of the various institutions he visited. For GRTS News, I am Ajami Sise.
Well, you can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, and that's on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Time now to take our first break. We'll be right back.
Do you know with only $100 scratch card or Nopal you can win your dream home? Kergi, Yaibaram. What? You mean this magnificent house? Yes! It's possible. Just load $100 scratch card or Nopal to win your dream home. Fully equipped furniture. Not only that, but every 2 weeks you can win beautiful sofas, bedroom sets, make your dream come true. Load $100 scratch card or Nopal, cause the more you load, the better your chances are. Kirgi, Yaibarom. It's only possible with your national GSM provider, Giamcell, Yaibarom.
Welcome back. President Abdoulaye Wade has been wooing voters in 3 of Senegal's regions ahead of the runoff election scheduled to take place at the end of the month. Speaking in Kaolack, the Senegalese president said he wanted to continue the development programs he started when he came to power. Opposition parties have been reacting to Wade's plea, saying it is time that the incumbent gave chance to somebody else. We have more in this report.
In Kaolack, candidate Abdoulaye Wade was not able to mobilize his troops. This western region of Senegal supports Mustafa Niasse, who is not one of the 2 finalists. Niasse is calling on his supporters to vote for Wade's rival Macky Sall. At every rally, the incumbent president explains why he is seeking a 3rd term.
The work I started to undertake, the big projects in which I invested a lot of money, should not be in vain. No one can claim on television and in newspapers that they are capable of doing the same things as me.
At the headquarters of the Benno Bokk Yakaar coalition, which has just been formed to support candidate Macky Sall, the communications unit is drawing up the last strategies. Here every morning, candidate Wad's declarations are studied carefully.
If the president has no other argument other than wanting to finish these projects, which are not his, it's as if he is the only Senegalese capable of doing things the Senegalese need. I think a fatal response was given in the first round, and it will be repeated in the second round.
10 days ahead of the presidential runoffs, the two camps continue combing the different regions of Senegal, looking for voters who did not cast their ballots in the first round. They made up nearly 40% of the voters.
Tunisia is hosting a conference on tourism a year after the country's revolution. The tourism industry is yet to recover fully in the country's main towns. And in Egypt, protesters marched in Cairo demanding justice for 74 people killed in football riots last February. We have more on these and other stories in this roundup of news.
In Egypt, protesters marched in Cairo Thursday to demand justice for 74 people killed in football riots last February. Violent clashes between supporters of Port Said and Cairo's football team marked one of the deadliest incidents in football history. Egypt's prosecutor general has ordered the prosecution of 75 people. US film actor George Clooney recently traveled to South Kordofan, a border region between South Sudan and Sudan. He accuses Sudan's government in Khartoum of war crimes with attacks on civilians. George Clooney met with US President Obama and testified before a Senate committee to urge the US authorities to resolve the crisis and persuade Khartoum to accept humanitarian aid. Malian refugees are fleeing fighting between Tuareg rebels and the Malian army in the north of the country. The refugees are arriving in increasing numbers in neighboring Mauritania. According to United Nations estimates, 100,000 people have left the country since mid-January. Once they arrive in Mauritania, the refugees are sent to desert camps where there are problems of delivering humanitarian aid. Tunisia is hosting a conference on tourism a year after the country's revolution. The tourist industry still hasn't recovered in Djerba, a top tourist destination. The local economy is lagging as the number of visitors has dropped dramatically. The desert island is hoping that 2012 will mark a difference from last year. The number of people looking for work has doubled over the past 12 months.
Well, before we go, reminder of our headlines. Vice President Dr. Aïssatou Ndiaye Seydi today presided over two signing ceremonies, one for the procurement of water pumps for the capital city, while the other is earmarked for Skills Acquisition Center. The chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission has told representatives of political parties and others with stakes in the parliamentary race that elections in the Gambia should be the business of all. Senegalese President Abdoulaye Wade has been urging voters to give him another mandate to complete his development programs. But the opposition is saying enough is enough. And protesters have taken to the streets in Egypt calling for justice for the 74 people killed in football riots in the coastal city of Port Said. You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, and that's on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. That's all in the news. Thank you very much for your time, and Yuninenla is next.
The Dresden Banjul organization informs the general public that there will be an auction sale of vehicles from the Dresden Dakar Banjul Challenge. The auction sale is this Sunday, 18th March 2012 at the Independence Stadium in Bakau, starting at 9 a.m.